They said that we'd grow out of it. Well, the joke's on them, that's just our brains. We're eccentric, loud, and stubborn, and most of our clothing is covered in stains. It's not a deficit of attention, there's just too much to think about. So if executive dysfunction becomes a little too much, if you forgot why you came in this room, or you're hypersensitive to touch, then put on your seamless socks and come join our little flock. Bitches stimming together, we're weirds of a feather, weirds of a feather.
Welcome to Weirds of a Feather, an ADHD-Adjacent podcast.
I am your host, Grace.
Oh, so musical. I am Kristin.
Oh, this is a musical.
Your other host that's not as musical.
We'll get you there.
Yeah.
We'll work on it. This will be a singing episode, but also it's a petisode.
It's the petisode episode, baby.
And you said you weren't musical.
Yeah.
This is an episode all about pets and animals. I keep wanting to call it the petpisode, but Kristin won't let that happen.
It's not a petpisode. That doesn't make any sense.
It's petpisode
no,
instead of
it's
episode.
A petisode.
Petpisode.
Okay, what's your spelling?
Petpisode.
Everybody get a pen, because you're going to have to write this down, then you got to tell us which one is better.
It's like petisode, but the P's still in there. Petpisode.
Petpisode. That's too many.
It rolls off the tongue.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, oftentimes in English, you'll see that classic combination of a T right next to a P.
Yeah.
It's very common in the English language. Foreign listeners, get a pen.
All right. So I would like to call it the petisode, which makes way more sense.
I'm going petpisode.
So my spelling is Petisode, petisode. It rolls off the tongue. It sounds nice. And you're trying to call it a what? A
petpisode. P-E-T.
You can't even say that.
Petpisode.
Yeah. Okay. Say it 3 times fast.
Petpisode. You hear that?
Yeah,
Are you impressed now?
I'm not.
Well, it's called a petpisode. So
good luck editing out all those pee poppins.
I know, it's going to be so annoying.
You brought that on yourself.
I did. And we have brought this episode on you. Yeah. Welcome to Weirds of a Feather,
an ADHD-Adjacent podcast that we've already...
I'm your host, Grace.
We've already said this. I'm Kristin.
Just making double sure.
Okay. Is everybody listening? They probably all shut it off by now. They're like, this is not... Click. There goes all our listeners. If you're still here, I feel like I talk about my pet every single episode, so we decided to make a whole episode about pets and our pets and why pets are good, because we love animals.
Yes. And
most of the time.
Yes, unless they're being little shits, which sometimes they are.
Most of the time
we still love them, though.
Still love them.
So, Kristin, question number 1 for the top of this episode. Why are pets good?
That's, let me give you an elaborate answer. Ready?
Yep.
Snuggles.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep, I
Companionship.
Agree. That's another one.
Depending on the pet. Unconditional love, which is something no one else will give you, not even your children. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah, that is kind of nice. They are forced to love you. I guess you have to ask
yourself, are you deserving of unconditional love?
Even if you aren't, does everyone deserve unconditional love? I don't know. I guess that's a morality question. I mean, Hitler had a dog who loved him. It's just a fact.
I mean, what if, you love your dog unconditionally?
Yes.
Even though sometimes she's a shit.
She is, but I love her no matter what.
Same with Snickers. You hear that?
I love you no matter what. You're a good girl.
What if they're secretly,
planning our demise?
Yeah. What if, what
are.
if they don't deserve our unconditional love?
They do. Just existing as an animal, they're already better than humans.
Very true.
And they deserve our love.
I guess so.
So sometimes pets good, but also sometimes pets bad. Hear more hot takes on this petpisode episode. We're off to a really good start. I feel good about this episode.
Rolling through, yeah.
Good thing we did those improv warm-ups.
Yeah, I'm glad we warmed up. I'm feeling great. We're doing just segs here?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is another just segs. It's a fun little... Sometimes we get too serious, when we're talking about... Just kidding. We're never serious.
Even when we're talking about research and statistics, we're still fucking around.
Always fucking.
But
Around.
this is normally the fucking around is like, I don't know, just kind of a seasoning that goes on all of the food. This time it's the main course.
Main course.
We're fucking around and that's about it. That's all.
Yep.
Got nothing but fucking.
Should we get into our little accomplishments?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Ready?
Little accomplishments, but big in our hearts.
Since it's the petisode.
Petpisode. Yes. Yes.
We're doing little pet accomplishments. Little accomplishments our pets have done this week. I've got one for Snickers. Oh, should we? Oh, hold on. Should we give a little recap? I feel like most people by now, if you've gotten this far, you know that both hosts, Grace and I, have pets. I have an 11-year-old cat with anxiety and IBS. She's a snowshoe Siamese mix. You can look that up. Imagine a Siamese cat and then get a snowshoe cat and like literally combine those together. That's what she looks like.
That is the concept behind that.
And you have a dog?
Yep. I have a dog, Lucy. She's about 4.5.
Yep.
She's a mix. She's got some red heeler in her, a little pit bull, a little, I don't know, just a little spice.
She's like an all-in-all mutt, and you got to respect it. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a nice mystery breed.
Yeah, she's a mystery wrapped in an enigma. Yeah, she is something special, all right. She's my special girl. And I don't have anything else to say about her.
What's Lucy's accomplishment this week?
Oh, I thought you were about to tell your accomplishment. You go first.
Okay.
Tell us your Snickers accomplishment. I wonder if it's bowel related.
You know what it is?
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
You know, as we've been talking about, Snickers has some IBS issues, and we have since gone to the vet multiple times. Blah, 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 blah. Last night, hot off the press, literally. She had her first, like, normal appearing bowel movement for what I think is about 3 months. It was just like a nice normal one. It was not yogurt, her typical yogurt.
No, yuck.
I just had to, this is not a visual medium, so I had to make sure the listeners knew what it looked like.
I regret this Petpisode already.
Yeah, same.
Should we just turn this off?
Yeah.
Should we just stop recording?
What's Lucy's accomplishment?
Well, first of all, congratulations, Snickers, on your
I'm
normal bowel movement.
Yeah, one this morning, not so much, but you know what? We'll take them. Are you gonna steal my
mess
fidget
around
pen?
with that. Yep.
Where's my fidget
Because you're
sword?
going to be slamming on
Where's my fidget-saurus? Oh, here it is.
I need it.
All is better.
All right, calm down. Play with your fidget-saurus. You feel better?
A little bit.
All right.
I'm ready.
Okay, good. Yeah, congratulations.
Congrats, Snickers. You had a normal poo.
Woohoo! Good job, Snicks.
Woot.
All right,
But not too loud because she doesn't like loud noises.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Congratulations, Snickers.
That's much better.
Okay.
Great. What's Lucy's accomplishment?
All right. For Lucy's accomplishment this week, she met her new Aunt Gigi on Friday. Gigi is a little tiny dog.
Wouldn't Lucy be the aunt?
No, because Ian's mom adopted Gigi.
Yeah.
And so Gigi is technically one of Ian's siblings, right? It's like a sister to Ian because Ian's mom adopted her, right? So technically, if we're using this family tree...
No, I don't like this
Gigi is a sister, an adopted sister of Ian.
No.
And therefore, because Lucy is mine and Ian's child, Gigi is Lucy's aunt.
No.
Yep, that's how it works.
I feel like the logic is wrong.
It's right.
I feel like Lucy should be Gigi's...
Why, because she's physically bigger?
No, because isn't Gigi like 10 days old?
She's like 2 months old.
And then how old is Lucy?
4.5. What does that have to do with anything?
I don't think there's like an age.
You can be younger. You can be older than your aunt, right? Technically.
Yes.
Well, you can because that's what's happening. Okay. It's her aunt. It's Lucy's aunt Gigi. She's about a 5-pound puppy. She's a Havapoo, which is...
Okay, you were like, don't talk about bowel movements. And then you have a dog that comes on that's a Havapoo. His name is Havapoo.
Its name isn't Havapoo. They didn't name it Havapoo. That is a good dog name, though. Judy, have you considered Havapoo instead of Gigi? She's a Havanese and Poodle mix.
This is a real breed.
Yeah, Havapoo.
Havapoo.
Yes.
And someone made the conscious decision to go out and buy said Havapoo.
Yes, Judy and Steve. So they adopted Gigi.
That's such a great breed name.
I know, a Havapoo. I mean, there are also aren't there shit poos of like a Shih Tzu and a poodle?
God, it's so funny, but that's...
Yeah, so we were pretty nervous about Lucy meeting Gigi because, Lucy is big and a bit of a bulldozer, Lucy. And Gigi is this tiny little cotton ball. She's a sweet little baby. So we introduced them on Friday when Judy picked up the puppy, Gigi, and overall it went pretty well. Lucy didn't love Gigi, like, walking under her body. You know, she didn't like that. But, like,
she's like, why is it so small?
What is this thing?
I don't understand.
It's moving.
I thought it was just a toy.
Yeah, I was wondering if Lucy knows that Gigi is a dog.
Maybe
if she, like,
she thinks it's a toy that
dog.
came to life.
Well, I'm surprised she hasn't,
the Snuggle Bear.
Torn her
Remember
apart.
the Snuggle commercials that were like super creepy?
That creepy
bear.
freak.
Yeah,
I think he's still around, isn't he?
I know he's on like the boxes, but like, remember the commercials for like Snuggle?
Yeah,
you just feel uncomfortable.
Yes,
yeah,
I do remember that. Just like that. I mean, they're not like the best of pals. They didn't play very well together, but no one died.
There you
Lucy
go.
didn't, pick her up like a rag doll and shake her all around. So I would consider that a win.
Yeah, there you go. Good job, Lucy.
Yeah, we're proud of you, Liz.
Yeah. All right. Well, yay, our pets.
Sometimes they have a
every
little
once in a while-
accomplishment, and we're proud of them.
We're proud of them. We take the wins where they are.
Yep.
Ready for Quirks? Oh, wait. Oh, my God. Ah!
Oh, and Lucy's not even here to trigger.
She's not even here. Almost forgot about this.
Some people call them spacey, some people call them fun, but they're just quirky.
I had to add it.
I like that little extra.
Yeah. I've been practicing.
In our I'm So Quirky segment this episode, we are switching up a little bit and we're making it They're So Quirky.
Yeah.
And we're talking about our pets' quirks.
We got a lot of them. I narrowed it down to 3.
Yeah, I also narrowed it down to 3, but there are many more where this came from. So what are Snickers' quirks?
Snickers loves the texture of yoga mats, so much so that she, her previous owner declawed her, so she only has little nubs. When she took the survey, she put nubbins. She's team nubbins. She doesn't know anybody. Don't declaw your cats. Anyway, so regular scratching posts aren't the same, but she loves yoga mats. So she scratches on it like a regular scratching post and then sleeps on it. She just loves yoga mats. It's very weird.
She's a yoga babe.
She's a yogi. Recently, she's only been pooping when her litter box is in the bathroom, so she only poops when someone else is in there. She's a group pooper. And lastly, she has so much anxiety that of recent, her humans, myself, I had to hire a cat behavioralist, and now we have Zoom meetings every 2 weeks to discuss her behavior. But this was really expensive, and the bank flagged it as unusual credit card activity. So then I had to call the Bank of America back and explain to them that yes, cat therapy was a thing and that it wasn't a suspicious activity. And the lady still didn't believe me. Yay! She's so quirky.
She's so quirky. And so are you.
Yeah, we both need therapy.
Could you do couples therapy?
Oh my God.
Imagine if you actually hired a therapist for couples therapy and you showed up with your cat.
New business idea. Ding, ding, ding. Where's our bells?
Oh!
New business idea. Pet and human therapy.
Yes. You have to call it couples therapy.
Couples therapy.
I love that idea.
No, I have homework assignments from this lady. So fun.
You have homework assignments?
Well, we have to work on it's not homework assignments. It's we had the Zoom therapy meeting and now we have to practice what she recommended.
That sounds like homework.
Yeah.
Let's just call it cat homework.
Cat homework. I haven't done any of it. I'm going to save it till the last minute.
Smart. Yeah. You don't want to start too ahead.
Yeah. I'll get it all done eventually.
Yeah. We'll use that time crunch. Yeah.
What does Lucy have for quirks? The first one I added, but
yes.
I'm going to let you. We all know about this one.
Yes.
Anyway.
Which I agree with. All right. Lucy's quirk number 1. She barks at the kazoo because the kazoo is the enemy, as we all know.
Yep. That evil, evil kazoo.
God, that thing. It's ruining our lives.
Scaring our children.
Yeah. She's very upset by the kazoo.
But she's
corrupting our youth. Quirk number 2. She drinks her water for the day all at once in what we refer to as her daily drink. She'll just drink for 5 minutes straight of just drinking and drinking and drinking, and then that's it. And that's her drink for the day. So I'm working on an unofficial theory that Lucy has ADHD because it's she forgets that water exists and then she's like, shit, I'm so thirsty.
I'm so fucking thirsty.
And then she makes herself sick from drinking it all at once.
Is that why she burps so much?
Actually, maybe.
Daily drink?
Well, we had to get her one of those special maze bowls because she was eating her food so fast that she was getting the hiccups. So actually, that is just a little tip out there.
You need a water maze.
Ooh, I don't think that's a thing.
I don't think that happens.
I don't think they could properly lap at the water.
I don't know. I don't understand how dogs drink.
Oh, they scoop it underneath the back of their tongue. Did you know that?
I knew
when
it was
they drink it,
something
scoops
fancy.
like that and it pulls it into their mouth.
How does that... Here's my question. I feel like that's such a skill.
Yeah.
How do you learn how to do that as a dog?
I think they're just born with it.
That's an instinct. There's no, like, mama dog isn't like, use the back of your tongue.
No, I think they
dog
just go
language?
to drink and then it just happens, you know?
How do cats drink? They don't do that.
You're the cat person. I don't know.
I don't...
Osmosis. Don't they just absorb it?
They piggy dip.
Piggy dipping.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute. My brain hurts trying to think about the physics of that. They scoop it backwards.
Yeah, with the back of their tongue, they scoop it like that and then pull it in their mouth.
Like a chameleon. But instead of bugs and a sticky tongue, it's a reverse scoop.
Yeah, kind of.
You think that's where Tostitos Scoops got the idea to make their scoops?
Yep, 100%. There's no way it's not. It's the only scooping there is.
Yep.
All right, quirk number 3.
Yeah.
The first day that Lucy got adopted, we were living out on the West Coast, and Ian and I were up visiting Kristin for the weekend. She took us to the shelter just to check out the dogs.
Just to look.
Which, you know, that's your mistake. This is all on you. Yep, that's on you.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You should have known if we went to the shelter, we would come home with a dog. So...
I didn't think they were going to be like, if you don't get her now... Like, they don't do dog holds, I guess?
Yeah, you have to take the dog, like, immediately.
Immediately that day. Do most places do dog hold? Like, if you're just like...
It doesn't sound like it.
I guess not. I guess I don't really...
You don't really what?
I guess I'm not in the adoption business, so...
No.
But you would think you like, can you put this dog on hold so I can get my life together before I bring this dog home?
Yeah, so they made us take her home that night, but we were staying over at Kristin's house, so we were like,
And I was like, the biggest thing is I don't want the dog to go to the bathroom on the floor. I'll be very upset if that happens.
Yes, because she had just moved into his brand new apartment. So we get Lucy, we go and get all the stuff we need to have a dog, go to the store, bring her back to Kristin's apartment, open the door. Immediately. The second we get in there, Lucy shits on the floor.
The nastiest, most like stinkiest shit. It was like a stress shit.
It was violent.
And just immediately, like, we didn't even have time to react. And you know when you're so mad you don't have words?
Yep.
That was me.
Yep.
You were there.
Yep.
And I was just like,
it was instant.
Take the dog outside! And poor Ian's like, oh, clean it up. I'm like, no! Take it outside! So mad.
Yeah. And she literally has never done that since.
Never done
it was
since.
just your apartment.
God. I was so mad.
She's so quirky.
She's so quirky.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry about that.
I'm still mad about it.
I know. But, I mean, the alternative is that we wouldn't have our darling Lucy.
Yeah. So, I know.
It's a trade-off.
I love Lucy, but my God, I was so mad. I'm still heated. Whew. Should we do a transition?
Yeah, let's figure out a transition.
Transition. That was a bad one.
No, you know, just like when your mind just feels like completely blank. Anyways, let's transition.
Transition.
This is a transition. Welcome to our transition.
This is this ambiguous space of in-betweens where we transition from one topic to the next. Could be anything.
Yeah, we could really just say whatever, and yet we really don't say anything at all.
Yeah, it kind of highlights the fact that people with ADHD just have a really hard time transitioning from one topic to the next, so we make fun of this by our terrible transitions.
Yeah.
I don't think we actually explain that ever.
No, and really I didn't like consciously think about it. But yeah, you're right. That is what we're doing because transitions are hard. And so are we.
You're hard?
Yeah. Rock hard for this transition. Anyway, are we still doing this transition? Are we still transitioning? Guys, this is still our transition.
We're still in the moment of the transition.
We have not left the transition.
Yeah, don't go anywhere.
We haven't made it there.
There's more stuff to come. We're just in the process of transitioning.
The thing about transitioning is, you know, especially as an ADHDer, you fight it, and you're like, I don't want to transition. Then you go into the transition, and you're like, all right, now I'm in the transition. This is where I want to be. I'm just like going to stay in this transition. So then transitioning out of the transition, that's also equally difficult.
That's another
transition.
You know what? We need a pre-transition and then a post-transition transition.
Yes.
That's what we should have.
Maybe like a mid-transition break, little snack break.
Yeah. But then a pre and post mid-transition break.
Yeah.
To go in and out of the mid-transition break. Yeah. So that's about 8 transitions, I think, that we need.
All right.
Per transition.
Yeah.
So
that's about 8 in one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. just a little bit longer here on the transition.
Yeah. Just hold on to your hats here.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and welcome back from that transition.
Yeah, that was lovely.
Yeah, nice, quick little bit to get you from one segment to the next.
Exactly.
We're all about quick transitions here.
We are all about
WOF.
efficiency and directness.
We just want to get you there, get in, get out, get on,
Information, no nonsense.
Yeah.
That's us.
Yeah. We just want to give you the cold, hard facts and then let you go on with your day. Because why dilly-dally,
Yeah.
Why talk about it forever and ever and ever? Just go on and on and on. What's the point of that? Why would someone do that? What a waste of space. You have a whole podcast and you're just going to talk and talk and talk. You can't get enough of your own fucking voice. What's up with that? So we don't do that here. We're just efficiency. We're all about it.
Yeah. Hustle culture.
Yeah. We're hustling.
Hashtag boss babe. I feel like that fits. We don't really have a hobby collector for this one, but what we do have is a different segment instead of hobby collector called Let's Debate.
What if it's really serious? It's boom, I'll put in a noise. It's boom. It's let's debate.
Let's debate.
It's a political debate almost.
Oh, okay. Oh, we need yeah.
It's our generic newscaster music. It's a debate.
It's the debate.
All right, that was a good sound clip.
Yeah. Save that one.
Yeah, I will save
for
that
next
one.
debate. That's right, folks. We do not have a hobby collectors. That's because this is a weird episode. It's the Petpisode.
It's the Petpisode.
It's a Petisode. Petisode.
Petpisode.
And so instead, we have a little debate, little fun debate. What's a little debate among friends?
I feel
right?
debates between us always start off with this, wouldn't that be fun? And then we're no, you shut the fuck up.
It's going to be different this time.
We always say that.
What's their debate about?
I don't know.
Pets, because it's the Petisode.
Pets.
So,
Petpisode, are pets good? Are they good?
Are they good? Are they bad?
Or are they in between?
Why pets? What classifies as a pet?
What is pet? And why? Why pet? And pet good? Let's find out.
Hey,
let's get into that debate.
Okay. So, what Grace is so elegantly trying to say is, are pets good for ADHDers or are they not? And if so,
facto.
No. If so, what pets are the best and what pets are the worst? So, on a whole, do you think pets are good for ADHDers, yeah or nay? Or just for people in general? How about this? For people in general, are pets good?
I would say yes, in general, pets are good.
Okay. And then specifically for the ADHD neurodivergent community?
I would say sometimes yes, sometimes no. What about you?
I completely agree. This is a weird thing. What a time to be alive. All right, pet number 1. We're starting with fish. Everybody likes fish.
Do they?
Did you have any fish growing up?
One, and I overfed it immediately and killed it.
What was your fish's name?
I don't know, but it was a beta, obviously. Sorry, a betta.
A betta. You know what? I recently found out that it's not beta, it's betta.
I know, I learned that from you.
Yeah, because the betta community gets upset about it.
Is that something worth getting upset about?
You know what? If your whole life is around bettas, probably. If you're a betta person, a betta boy.
I'm a betta boy. Do they call themselves the Betta Boys? Is there a gang called the Betta Boys?
Betta Boys, reach out to us.
Should we start that? Band idea. It's a doo-wop group called the Betta Boys.
The Betta Boy. And they wear fish costumes. All their songs are fish puns. Carpe diem.
Ooh, that was a good one. Second fish pun, enter here. Right here. And fish pun here. Trouts. That's a fish.
That is a fish. I have mine. You're supposed to come up with
fuck.
There's plenty of fish in the sea.
Salmon. Something to do with salmon. Salmon. Salmonella. Nope. It's just a word. That's turned into a different word.
Yeah, that's not great. Anyway, okay, let's move on.
No, I got it. No, it's on the tip of my tongue.
You don't have it.
Yeah, I got it.
Usually I believe in you.
Bluefish.
One fish, two fish, red fish, bluefish.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
It's a great book.
Yeah, I just came up with that. All right, let's get into those fish.
Fish. So you had one fish growing up.
Yes.
I have many fish. I had so many fish.
You were like a fish person.
I was a fish person for a while. Tropical fish. I remember my first fish, his name was Bubbles, and he instantly died, and I cried for days.
Aw.
I was 6.
How'd he die?
I don't know. I think we just like put him in the tank, and then like the next day he was just like belly up. Anyway, I've had a lot of fish. I've had cannibal fish, which we'll talk about later. I've had fish that have committed suicide by jumping out of the tank. That was kind of traumatic. Some of my fish had babies. My neighbor's fish also had babies. We had babies at the same time. It was a nursery household, basically, of fish.
Was it one of those pregnancy packs?
So it's kind of funny. So what you're supposed to do is get because you have to separate the babies from the regular fish, because the fish will just eat them. They don't care if they're like, oh, you're my child. So you get like little straws, and you kind of use your thumb for the air pressure, and then you suck them up with the straw. Not like with your mouth, but like you put your thumb over the straw.
Could you suck them up with your mouth, though?
I wouldn't recommend
and
it.
hold them in your mouth and spit it into the other tank?
That's awful.
Quick way to do it.
But you're supposed to get this little net thing, like a little baby nursery net. And I had one for said occasion, just in case, because that's what the books recommended. But my neighbor had the fish first, and she called me in a panic. And so both my brother and I went over. We spent like the whole day trying to like rescue those baby fish. Next day, my fish has babies, something in the air. And
sperm.
I didn't have the net, so I like duct taped one of the, the green nets that you get where you scoop out your dead fish. So I duct taped that to the side of my fish tank. I thought it was genius. Not my cat. At the time, not Snickers. Snickers would never do this because she's afraid of everything. I used to drink out of the top of the tank, and I come home from school because it's like, I don't know, in middle school, cat's soaked. The light of the tank, how he didn't get electrocuted or burn our house down, I don't know. The whole light's just dunked in the tank. He must have stepped on the handle of the net because it was like face down. All the baby fish are dead. Oh, no. Just like they were like catapulted across the room. And he's just like, meow. I was like, you're soaked and you're covered in fish water. You smell disgusting. Anyway.
That's traumatic.
I've had some fish trauma, but are they good pet for ADHDers? I think, kind of yes. I think some ways yes, because you start this hyper-focus out where you set the tank up. You got to get the water right. You got to get the pH right. You got to figure out
Soldier koi. That's my fish pun. Soldier koi. Like koi fish. Like Soldier Boy, but it's Soldier koi.
Oh.
Anyways, continue. I knew I'd get there, and it paid off.
That's not bad. That's a good one.
Yeah, you got it immediately.
Yeah,
you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah. It would be like a separate band name, or would it be a song name?
I'm thinking a song name.
Soldier Koi.
Soldier Koi, tell them.
Soldier Koi up in this cove.
Watch me swim and watch me. Anyways. Sorry to interrupt, but I know it was worth it. And
that was worth it.
I know that the people wanted to hear my fish pun, and there it is.
We got to save that one for Synchronized Night Boat.
So stupid. Yeah, sorry, hyperfocus.
I lost my place. So you can hyperfocus. You got to set up the tank. You got to figure out what rocks do you want? What plants do you want? Do you want real plants? What fish do you think you're going to have? And then set your tank up accordingly based on the natural habitat of said fish. What fish intermingle with each other, which don't. That's important. We'll learn why later.
This already sounds like too much work for me.
But it's a hyper focus, right? That's a lot of work all at once, but you focus on it and then it's done. And then except for once like monthly, you got to clean the tank out, which is a process, but it's only once a month-ish. And then after that, you just give them a little bit of food, and then you enjoy your little peaceful fish, and then you keep on living your life.
But the tank cleaning, it's like a whole thing, right? It's like a whole process.
It is quite the process.
Yeah.
It depends on how big your tank is.
It's gross.
It is stinky. The water's very good for your plants. So it's like a double.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Nothing like fish poop for your plants.
Isn't bong water also good for your plants? Or is that a rumor? Like a rumor that people have just been talking about?
I don't know.
You haven't heard that?
No.
That you should pour your bong water into your plants?
I feel like someone made that
up. I think Seth Rogen does it. Seth, get back to us. I know you're listening to this Petpisode.
The Petisode.
He loves the Petpisodes.
Petisode. You can't even say it.
Petpisode. How do you like that? Pea popping.
Oh, man, you are going to ruin your life with these
I know,
peas.
I have to edit them.
That's your own grave. I'm going to say yay for the ADHDer because it's like a once a month thing.
I'm going to say nay.
You're going to say nay
yes.
just because of
the tank cleaning. I feel like, honestly,
it's like a month thing. It's like once a month. You do lots of things once a month.
But you know what? If I have no fish, I don't have to do that any months.
Yeah, but then you don't get that nice, like, tranquil thing of having things
Just go to
in a
Panda
tank.
Garden.
Oh, well, they
Just
do.
watch them in the tank.
No one knows what Panda Gardens is. It's a restaurant. They do have very nice fish. They have like 4 fish tanks.
Lily and Jeff call it Plaza Chicken because Jeff makes fun of the fact that it's in a plaza.
It is in
like
a plaza.
Stupid little plaza. So
It's like hidden in a corner, but it's a hidden plaza secret.
Plaza Secret.
They have a great poo-poo platter.
Yeah, I'm going to say nay because, yes, you have to clean it like once a month. The cleaning process, like immediately I'm out. No, I don't want to do that even once a month. That's too much, you know? It seems like a lot. It seems like because it's not demanding your attention and it's not in your face, it's like I'm just going to neglect this thing to the point where it's probably like animal cruelty. So the best thing for me is to not have fish because I don't want to do that. And don't do that to your fish. Like, what if you hyper-focus on it because hyper-focus is famous for, like, that ends, and then now I can't even look at that. So, like, what if you hyper-focus on fish and you're all about it, you give them this crazy tank, you get them all ready, and then, like, month 2 comes around, and you're like, ugh, I'm on to gerbils now.
Well, first of all, if you just quickly go into gerbils like that, you got to do your research first. You shouldn't be owning pets if you're just like, meh.
Well, that's what this episode's all about.
True. I guess so. I mean, yeah, I get your point.
I like how under the nays for fish you have, it's wet.
I didn't like the wetness. I didn't like when you clean the tank, you get wet.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, that would instantly no, I'm just going to avoid it because it sounds like slimy.
It's slimy.
Wet. You have to don't you have to clean off like all the little toys in there?
Yeah, you have to clean them with a toothbrush.
What?
But you can't use soap because that will poison your fish. So you just have to scrub really hard.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get one of those algae eaters or a snail. It doesn't do as much. Basically, just have like
Hire
a nice
snail.
If you take care of your tank, you don't have to do as much work. Also, I think having live plants kind of helps the water, but
well, it sounds like a lot of work for me.
It is a lot of work.
It sounds like they're not worth it is my argument.
I guess, you know what? Now that we're having this conversation, I might say nay.
Yes. Got her. Guys, we got her. Oh boy, did we get her.
I forgot how much work that was.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, when was the last time you owned a fish?
College.
And why? Why don't you have any fish right now?
Because
they're too much work?
They're a lot of work.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Well, because also, like, I guess it was like pre-COVID. I was traveling a lot, and it's easy to hire a cat sitter. It's difficult to hire a fish sitter.
Is it?
Well, I'm like,
I would think that would be easier.
More out of embarrassment, you know. I can't just put up a Craigslist ad saying like I need someone to care for my fish.
You probably could.
I could.
I've seen like someone asking to have a chicken caretaker.
Yeah, but chickens are like a whole nother level, you know?
Yeah, they're a lot of work. Well, here out.
Sorry.
That's a bird.
Oh, that's right. Did we ever do chickens for
We should. Remember that.
All right.
Log it away. It's locked in there.
Okay.
All right, locked in. Here at WOF, our official stance is now we believe that fish belong in the ocean. All fish.
All fish.
Whether you're freshwater or saltwater.
No,
all fish belong in the ocean. That is a hard and fast stance here at WOF. We will not compromise our values.
I'm compromising our values.
Put them all in the ocean.
Freshwater fish belong in freshwater. Ocean fish belong in the ocean.
Pretty controversial opinion. I think we're going to get a lot of emails about that one.
PETA's going to be like, how dare you?
Not to be confused with P-dur.
P-dur. It's spelled different.
There's a D in there. All right, let's move on to our next pet, which you doing fish inspire. I think I should go on to snakes next.
Yeah, I think you should too. We'll work our way up to the big guys.
I think snakes are the fish of reptiles?
Sure.
I don't really know
Compared
how those
to what?
comparisons work.
What?
Other reptiles, I guess.
Snake are the fish of reptiles?
Yeah. So chew on that. Little piece of knowledge. Snake are the fish of reptiles. I said what I said.
What are the cats of reptiles? What are the dogs of reptiles?
Well, I haven't thought.
What are the chickens of reptiles? Technically, they came from the same ancestor, right? Because chickens used to be dinosaurs, right? We all know this. These are facts.
Yep. Yes, I definitely knew that, and I agree. 100%.
They look exactly this. Look at a reptile, and then look at a chicken. They're the same feet.
Did you just say they look exactly the same?
Yes.
Chickens and reptiles look exactly the same?
Well, dinosaurs.
Chickens and dinosaurs look exactly the same.
Not exactly, but they're very similar.
Controversial opinion.
No,
all right.
You know what? A T-Rex, the close cousin is a chicken. The closest cousin. They know that for facts.
All right.
I learned it on TikTok.
Well, I guess
Look
I'll
at
have
the
to trust
feet.
you.
They have the same feet. Did you ever see Jurassic Park?
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Enough of this evolutionary debate. Let's get into snakes.
Chickens are dinosaurs.
As we know, snakes are the
taking a poll.
Chickens of reptiles.
Fuck off.
All right, snakes. Yay or nay for a pet? Kristin, what do you think before I get into it?
I've never owned it. How many snakes have you had?
3.
I've owned 0 snakes, but I've held 2.
That's more experience than a lot of people have.
They don't really move much.
Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. And that's the thing about snakes.
I would say, as an ADHDer, I would forget that it's there. More so than a fish.
What, more so than a fish?
More so than a fish.
How?
Because it doesn't eat every day. You just leave it in the corner in the little tank.
But you can also take it out and hold it.
All right.
Well, let me tell you my pros of why I think a snake is a good ADHD pet.
Okay.
For yays, I'm going to say snakes. They're very easy care.
Yep.
I would argue easier than fish. They only have to be fed once a week, which I really like. Yes, it is a dead frozen mouse, but like they're dead and they're frozen and they're just tiny little guys, and you just, buy them at the store and then you just defrost them in a little hot cup of water.
Mouse?
It's kind of like cruel to do that. There's no, first of all, there's no legitimate reason why you would ever have to give a snake a live animal unless you wanted to put on a show for your friends or unless you want to watch it happen. Those are like, as far as I know, based on my research and what I've heard, there's not really a legitimate reason of why you would want to feed a live mouse to a snake. And if anything, they can actually be dangerous because the
mice are bitches.
Yeah, they are. And they can hurt your snake. They can claw it. They can fuck them up from the inside.
I guess my thought would be kind of like how cats have that prey drive. Do snakes also have that prey drive where they feel the need to hunt?
Well, they will pounce on it as if it's alive. So that you defrost it and they come in these little baggies, it's just like a little pack of dead little mice feti, and they're frozen. And then you just take a little bag out of your freezer and you put that in some hot water and you let it kind of warm up. And so then then the mouse body is warm.
What if he wants a mouseicle? What if it's hot out?
He doesn't want a mouseicle.
He wants a cool snack on a hot summer afternoon.
I don't think that's a thing snakes crave, but maybe. Okay. I'm not a snake, so I don't know.
They're also cold-blooded, right? So that's kind of...
I don't think they want to cool down with a cold mouse.
Okay.
The best way to beat the summer heat, get yourself a cold mouse carcass. No, you heat them up and then you drop it in their tank, and then they kind of pounce on it as if it's prey. So I think they're still getting that satisfaction of hunting.
You know what I just thought of?
What?
Can I interrupt you for a second?
You already are.
Hedgehog terrarium, but a snake. And then you hang the carcasses instead of the hedgehogs. You hang the little carcasses.
Well, not carcass, skulls.
Sorry. Carcass.
First of all, let's still use the proper terminology of carcass.
No, the little dead mouse. And so it can jump up and get it.
Oh. So I can have mouse skeletons hanging as my little angels. And then the snake skeleton is going up trying to grab at them.
No, I'm thinking live snake terrarium. And that's how you feed it. You hang the little dead carcass from the top, so it has to jump up to get it.
That would be cool.
And, little, I don't know.
That's performance art.
Maybe it's enrichment for the snake. Do snakes
Is it for the snake or is it for us? I think of both. We would both benefit.
Yeah. I feel like snakes need to be enriched. They can't just sit in a Tupperware all day.
Well, yeah, don't put them in a Tupperware, please. A little tuppy.
Little tuppy.
Don't put them in a tuppy.
Here's my snake tuppy.
What are we talking about? Oh, mice, snakes, snake terrarium. I think, if anything, that's performance art would be snake terrarium.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I guess so, yeah.
I like where your head's at.
Could be coming out of a skull of a bigger snake and then snatch mouse carcass.
Whoa. Like a turducken, but it's just a snake out of a snake, out of another snake.
Ooh.
There's no way to combine snake with snake. It's just snake.
Snake on snake action. That sounds wrong.
It does. Let's see. What are we doing here? Easy. They're easy care.
Easy care. But are they too easy that you forget about it? Kind of like a plant.
Kind of, but no. You feed them once a week. That's great. You clean their tank out probably about once a month, but it's
same with fish.
But it's a million times easier to do it for the snakes.
Have you ever cleaned out a fish tank?
Yes, it was a nightmare. I never want to do it again.
Was it with me?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
So the snakes just have bedding. It's kind of like
the shavings?
Yes, kind of like that. But they're almost a little wood. They're almost a little wood chippy. They're I don't know what to call it. So you just like replace all that. You have a hide in there. They make these fake rocks that are really like a little snake cave. So you have to give them a dark, cool place to go hang out. So something that it can fit under or curl up under. And you want to give them a heating lamp and probably like a heating pad, some type of pad that they can lay on and get the heat. You want to have a nice dish of water and maybe some fun little statues in there or whatever. But that's really it. That's really all you need. And then you have like a gauge to make sure that their temperature is right. But then when you're cleaning it, you just like take all those things out and just wash his toys and his hide. And
Can
then
you wash it with bleach?
No,
Oh.
don't do that.
What does snakes' poop look like? What is that?
It's like white.
Ugh, like a bird?
Yeah,
Like, is it
kind of,
like a mix
actually.
between urine and poo? Do they have a cloaca? Not a cochlea, a cloaca.
I think it's something
There's
like
a difference.
that. Yeah. It kind of looks like bird poop, but it's just
Okay.
like and that's the other thing. They poop like once a week after you feed them. They poop and you just like
I have
clean
to
it.
look this up.
I'll pause. We'll be right back.
Do snakes have a cloaca? And we're back. Everybody's waiting with this with baby breath.
Yes,
Snakes have cloacas.
you were right. Glad we solved that mystery.
I needed to prove myself right.
Yep. So they poop once a week, really easy to clean up. Overall, I would say snakes are pretty easy. You can take them out and hold them pretty much like when you feel like it with their consent and not while they're shedding. And
How do they give you consent?
not after they've, well,
Do they have
essentially.
to sign an NDA or something?
Yeah, they sign a waiver. Well, basically, like you don't pick them up for like 1 or 2 days after you've fed them because they're digesting and it takes them a while. So don't pick them up,
Oh.
the next couple of days after you feed them. If they're shedding, they're going to be a little moody. And so you want to like kind of leave them alone and give them their place, but make sure that they're hydrated and that's
Is it because
humid
they're
enough.
itchy?
Yeah, they're just like uncomfy. And so they'll
Hmm.
probably be a little pissy and they probably don't want to be picked up. It's shedding season is
Do you
tough.
have to like get rid of their snake skin?
Yeah, or you
Ew.
can like take it out and keep it and
Oop.
bring it to school and show the children that you work with.
Oh, I feel like
Which
you
is-
did that.
Definitely not something I have done. And my last pro is that they may scare your enemies. And isn't that always a pro?
Yeah, but if they're in their cage.
You could take it out. You could take them out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
Yeah, we would take our snake out all the time and just like hold him and then
what's
just
the
like,
snake from Harry Potter? Oh, she was so mean.
he's going to sacrifice himself. I don't remember.
This has been Harry Potter Quote Podcast. Someone is dying. You know who's dying right now? Christopher, my boyfriend.
Yeah.
He's like, how do you not know the snake's name?
You know what we should call this? Potter's Potties. It's a Harry Potter podcast.
Potter's Potties. The Pottersode.
That rolls off the tongue.
That was a different one.
Yes. All
Okay.
right, let's cruise through this.
So,
my
snakes-
nays. I got to give
Yeah.
you my nays. They are escape artists, so you have to be very vigilant about their tank and make sure it's like really, really secured. Even the tiniest little hole, they will slip out of. So look
I
out
feel
about that.
like, okay, I'm forming an opinion.
All right. Another nay. People are weird about snakes, and I think snakes
Myself.
face a lot of unearned discrimination, which you will also face by association. So just a heads up, once you get a snake, you're now a snake person.
Yeah.
And that's just what people say about you.
Yep.
So,
She's a snake person.
oh, she's weird. She's a
A
snake person.
person.
Yeah. So people might not be psyched about the fact that you have a snake, but like, fuck them, You do have to feed them dead mice. That's a pro, but also a con.
You know
Some
what's
people are
weirder
weird
than a
about
snake
that.
person, though? A bird person. Bird people are always the weirdest.
Bird people are odd.
You know what? I know there's bird people out there. I know you're listening. Just own up to it. You're a weird person. It's okay. Bird people are weird people.
Same with like iguana people.
Oh,
Iguana people are strange.
Iguanas are the birds of the
Reptiles.
reptile.
Oh, you're right. You're right. See?
It's all making
You're
sense.
absolutely right. They are.
I feel like
that
those
analogy.
are big.
Yeah, they're just like a very specific thing. Like if you own an iguana, it's like you own an iguana. That's like your
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Another thing, snakes can live a pretty long time and they do grow pretty big depending on the type of snake. Like I've had a ball python. He was
Oh.
little when we got him, but he would have grown like, I don't know, 6 to 10 feet.
Holy shit.
Would have grown. I think he's still alive. I gave him to a child in Oregon.
Oh my God. A
One of
child?
It was one of my
He's bigger
students.
than a
It
child.
was one of my students. I asked the parents first.
You were like, hey, kid, you want a snake?
Yes.
It's the size of you?
Yeah, he loved snakes. And so, I didn't want to move him all the way across the country.
Was this the little kid who called the snakes makes?
No, it was a different kid.
Oh.
Yeah, I have one kid who was coming to speech. He was in first grade. And I was like telling them that I had a snake. And he raises his hand. And he goes, you have a snake at your house? It was so
Snake.
cute. I do have a snake at my house.
So cute.
Yeah, so they can get pretty big. So you just need to, make sure that you can get a tank big enough to accommodate them.
I feel like that's a big time and spatial commitment.
It is a big spatial commitment. That's actually a good point, that you do have to have a place to put this big tank, and they prefer to be like in a darker room. So it'd be good to have it, have a room where you can keep them in the dark.
See, that's where the advantage of fish is you could get a big fish, but if you don't have the space for a big fish, you use small fish. Small tank for small fish.
You could get a small snake.
Yeah, but
small snake.
I feel like snakes are still pretty big. They still need like a 100-gallon tank, right?
No, not nearly that big.
Oh.
If it was like a little one, like snakes can be like the size of a pencil, There are some little snakes out there.
And that's it? That's all they grow up to be? Little pencil snake?
They grow up to be architects sometimes. Yeah, they just grow up to be little pencil snakes. I mean, there'd be like maybe one of those jumbo pencils would be their adult size.
Okay. I could deal with that snake.
And snakes are very nice. They get a bad rap because people, I don't know, are scared of them. I think it's uneasy the way they move, which I get.
I think it's the whole no legs thing, but I guess fish are like that too. Fish don't have legs.
Exactly. And you're not discriminating against them. I've heard that it's the movement, it's like unnerving to people because it's so unnatural looking to us, that the way they like move. And
so
it is kind of creepy, the way they move so fast.
Yeah.
And whatever snake you're going to get for a pet, most of them aren't going to bite you. They're actually like pretty kind of timid animals. And so don't make like tons of sudden movements around them. And, they'll just hang out with you. They're pretty easygoing guys and ladies. And I don't know, non-binary, maybe. Last thing about a snake that's kind of a con is that they don't tell you what they need, obviously. So you do have to interpret their behaviors and their needs, and you have to like be paying attention and making sure that they have everything they need, because if they're dying, they're not going to let you know they're dying. They'll just die. So you do have to be...
Wait, oh my God. So you just wake up and the snake's dead?
That could happen.
I feel like even the fish tell me when they're like ready to go.
Well, there's definitely signs to look for, but like if like a dog is going to be coughing on your feet and barking at you.
How do you know when the snake is dead? Because most of the time
moving.
It's just but usually they don't move. So how do you know it could have been dead to this morning? Oh. Yeah, but you don't pick it up every day. What if you're just
you can. Some people do. Plenty of people do.
It's under a rock, it's just sleeping, it's shedding, it's cranky, and then you're like, actually, it's been dead for 4 days.
Well, then you're just a bad snake caretaker. If any pet dies and you don't know about it for 4 days, you're a bad pet owner. And those are my pros and cons of snakes.
All right.
So overall, I would say yes, I think they are a good ADHD pet because they're low maintenance and they're kind of cool and they're weird and unique and they get a bad rap, but they're actually gentle souls, just like ADHDers, I feel like.
I'm going to say nay, but better than fish and better than birds, even though we're not covering birds.
And we never will.
Because birds are weird.
We're literally called weirds of a feather. Maybe we shouldn't be insulting birds like this.
I didn't insult them. I just said that they were weird for our namesake. That's like the whole thing. Birds are weird.
Weirds of a feather.
They're just unnatural.
All right. Our other two pets, we should fly through these because A, it's already been an hour.
Yeah.
And two, people know what the deal of dogs and cats are. So let's just say
I feel like most people know the basics. We're assuming that, but I feel like most people know what dogs and cats are in the basic cares.
Why don't you give me 2 yays for a cat and 2 nays for cat, and I'll do the same for dogs.
Okay. Big yay is the snuggles and less of a spatial/time commitment without sacrificing said snuggles.
It is nice how you can just like leave them overnight by themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
Like you always have to worry about Lucy, like even if you're like, we want to go on a hike, but it's like a no dog zone hike, because it's in like a protected area. What are you going to do with the dog all day?
Yeah, it's like we have to get home by 5 o'clock on the dot to feed her. Right. We throw in a fit.
Right. I mean, Snickers sometimes throws a fit, but I'm not there to see it. So
that's nice.
A couple nays, litter box, meh.
Yeah.
And I would say some catitude. Sometimes you can have some catitude. Better with therapy. Go to therapy.
All you cats out there, go to therapy.
Yeah. I'll just say with the litter box, if you have litter box issues, I just learned this from my cat therapist. Cats will not pee or poop outside the box out of spite. They're not spiteful creatures, even though some people think that they are. They're just trying to tell you something and they don't know how to communicate. They're bad communicators is what they are.
So they're like children.
Yeah. Toxoplasmosis is another one, but that's pretty rare. You get that mostly from food than cats. Anyway, especially if you're eating cats as food.
Oh.
Ugh, sorry.
Well, please don't do that.
Don't do that.
I have a quick question for you before we move on from cats.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this a lot, trying to figure out what it means.
You want to get a cat?
I absolutely do not. I'm highly allergic, and also they just sound like a lot of work.
Snickers loves you.
I love Snickers from a distance, and she loves me from a distance.
Yeah,
and that's
she loves most people from a
favorite
distance.
relationship. When you said in the other episode, hash brownie baby cakes, I think it was, you said that you were blowing through litter boxes. You were going through a bunch of litter boxes. What does that mean? How do you go through litter boxes? How are you going through litter box after litter box?
Okay. So you don't have to. And most cats and Snickers up until I would say September, October of this year had one litter box forever. And that was her litter box, and she went poop in one corner and pee in the other, and she's very particular about the box, and most cats are. However, because of her anal gland issue, which I don't have to get into, she developed litter box fear, so we had to switch litter boxes and switch litter, and we're in this process of trying to find out what litter box combo. We just found out that the special geriatric litter box that I bought, she doesn't like it anymore. The sides are too high.
Too high. I thought it was especially made with low sides.
It has
so she's too geriatric for the geriatric litter box.
So no, there's one low side and the rest of the sides are high. She wants all low sides all the time. So we are in the process, which is why we're going to therapy, trying to figure out what litter to litter. She's also, her previous owners declawed her, which is cruel. And basically, you know what? I don't care about the hate mail. It's cruel to declaw your cats.
Do you think we'll get hate mail? I thought everyone was on board with it's
No,
cruel.
Actually, a lot of people are pro declawing.
What?
What happens when they declaw your cats is that they amputate the first up to the first knuck of all of the cat's fingers.
God.
So they don't have, it's a surgical procedure, so they don't have any defense mechanisms. It makes them feel more vulnerable because they don't have that. So in general, it makes more fearful cats. And sometimes they don't get all of the bone that they're supposed to get. So then they have this free floating bone. It causes a lot of paw pain, especially when they're older. There's plenty of things you can do to stop your cat scratching your furniture. If you would like to talk about this, you can talk to me or you can go to cat therapy. Anyway,
so it'd be like if you were annoyed that your toddler was always on the move and he's always ruining things because he's zipping around the apartment.
Feet off.
Yeah, you just take his feet. You're that solves that problem.
There you go.
Instead of doing any type of learning.
Yeah, just get more scratching posts. You can get sprays scratch away spray, and you just have to, maybe they're an active cat, so you have to give them enrichment. And that's how you get them from stop scratching on your furniture. You don't just take away their claws. So not only does she have past trauma, but now she had that thing with her anal glands. So she associates
I'm sorry I asked about
the litter box with pain. And so now we are just in the process of figuring out. We're so close. She's doing really well. I'm proud of her. But yes, it's the only reason why we are blowing through litter boxes is because I have a special needs kitty.
Okay.
I
just need a little clarification.
Yeah.
I was picturing they were so destroyed that you had to throw them away because it was this is unusable.
No. Most litter boxes are it's super easy to clean a litter box. And
okay, on to dogs.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I would say cats are a yay because you get a lot of dopamine. They're in your face a lot. And it's not something that sits in a corner. But I also think that they're not this huge time commitment. I feel for most cats, they're pretty easy to take care of.
Yeah, Snickers sounds like
you know what?
a lot
Snickers
of work.
was super easy to take care of until September, October of this year, which is exactly when we started the podcast, right?
Yep.
So
she was upset. She wasn't getting all your attention.
Yeah, it's you know what? I think it's the podcast that made her do it.
The fame. She can't handle the fame.
That's it.
She's lashing out.
So I'm saying yay on cats.
All right.
Yeah.
I think if I weren't allergic to cats, I would also say yay.
Yeah, I guess that's another nay. Is a lot of people are allergic. And you're allergic to the protein in the saliva and not the actual fur.
Yes, I know.
So even if you get a hairless cat, you're still going to be allergic. Actually, that's why you should go for the Siamese. They make less of that protein.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's Snickers.
All right, dogs.
Dogs are these four-legged creatures. No, okay.
A dog, according to Webster's Dictionary.
Yeah.
Dogs, my yays are, first of all, you'll never forget about your dog. They will demand that it's dinner time. They have such a good internal sense of time. Better than mine, really.
Really?
4:59, sometimes 4:50. sometimes 4:30.
Wow.
If she's being especially tricky that day. But Lucy will start to cry for dinner literally exactly at 5 o'clock. It's like her sense of time is unreal.
It's dinner time.
So they will tell you exactly what they want and what they need all the time. So that's really nice because I need something like in my face to remind me like, hey, take care of me. So I like that about dogs. Unconditional love. They will love the shit out of you. Hopefully you'll love the shit out of them as well. They are sweet buddies.
And if you don't, you shouldn't have a dog.
Yes. And they get you outside, for better or worse. Sometimes it sucks that you have to take them for a walk, but also it forces you to go on walks, and that's good for your mental health. Cons, they are a very, very big commitment.
Huge.
Yep. Financially, time-wise, space-wise, they'll essentially run the household.
You have to figure out, if you work all day, you got to figure out what to do with that dog. You just can't leave it in the house,
Yeah, they need to get plenty of exercise and play.
Doggy daycares are a booming business right now.
Yes, which is another expense that you have to do. You have to train the dog. Hopefully, please train your dogs. There's a lot of sensory triggers with dogs. Like sometimes I'll already be overwhelmed with sensory stuff or just tired. And Lucy barking out the window will just drive me insane. It just ah! So it's a lot of self-management. If you're going to have a dog, especially one that barks, you are going to have to do some self-management. They're up in your face. They're always in your space. They can smell bad. Sometimes they roll in carcasses.
Little baby mouse carcass or just
any carcass.
Any sort of carcass.
Any carcass.
Yeah.
But then also they do lead you to dead animals and then you can take their bones.
Very
so that's
true.
actually a pro.
There you go.
Overall, I would say for ADHDers, this one's hard because do not get a dog unless you're absolutely committed to taking care of all these things. This isn't a half-ass pet. This isn't a snake that you can just feed once a week.
I would even say same for cats, but but even more so for dogs. Yes. It's just such a huge, it's people are treating their dogs like their child.
Yes.
You included.
Which I fully support.
But people are bringing them to doggy daycare and, the vet bills you have to, and then if you go on vacation, who's going to take care of the dog? You need to put it in a kennel and you have to have the financial ability to do that. And it's such a huge time commitment. And then all the other things, my big thing I love dogs. I love Lucy. The constant, and she's not as bad as my aunt has these two mixed breed pug things. I don't know if they're really dogs, but I'm going to assume that they are. They're a worst of many awful breeds. They have to be, they're the dogs that have to be touching you all the time. No matter what, they're have to, even just a toe on your thigh. And you're just sometimes I'm just Murphy, no! Please leave me alone. I don't want to be touched.
Yep, I get that way with Lucy sometimes.
Yeah, and they have, and
you have
the
to leave
nails.
right now.
Yeah, and with the nails and the, and I'm just I don't want you near me right now.
Yeah,
whereas a cat is they never usually want to be near you, except when they do.
So that could be a pro and a con, I would say. So I think it just depends, but take all those things into account. But overall, I would say, I think dogs are good for ADHDers. They're dynamic, they're fun, they get you outside, you can play with them, they're a good time. I don't know, bring them to the beach and throw a frisbee. Isn't that fun? So
isn't that just fun?
And isn't that just a good time? So those are our pros and cons of pets.
Did we miss some pets? We sure did. We missed a lot, probably on purpose.
We're not going to do all of them, guys.
Do you have a pet that you think is the perfect ADHD pet? Write in. I would like to know.
Yes.
Is it something weird like a chinchilla?
And don't say sea monkeys, because I have killed sea monkeys very quickly, might I add.
Those are the worst, because you just leave them. They're
not worse than fish.
Set it and forget it, except they die.
And they're boring. They're dull.
Yeah.
They live and they're boring and then they die.
There's no dope in the sea monkeys.
No.
In the sea monkey game.
The name is really the funnest part of them. They don't even look like little monkeys in the sea.
Did you every little kid thought they were actually little tiny sea monkeys?
Yes.
Monkeys?
Yes.
Little, and then the pictures had little human squiggles on them.
I feel like they're pictured as almost little seahorses.
I thought they were little
seahorse eye?
No, seahorses.
Seahorse eye.
I thought they were pictured as little human sea creatures. They had gills and webbed feet. Yeah. And they had a whole social organizational hierarchy, When
really they're just little floating specks.
Yeah, they're
very
phytoplankton of some sort,
Yeah.
Anyway. Not a great pet. What's another debate, and we kind of touched upon this in our video game episode, is Tamagotchi a pet? Are you considering that a pet? Grace, what's your opinion?
I would say yes, because there's so much friggin' work.
There's so much
and
work.
for what? For what?
I'm going to say yes. And that being said, I should also be put away for animal neglect. Except I had gigapets. Which I would say after all those polls, there was an overwhelming response to Tamagotchis. Only 2 people selected gigapets, and one of them was me.
Well, either way, Tamagotchi or gigapet, I would say, yeah, I think they are, if anything, they're more work than a snake.
Yeah, you have to have the internet. You don't have to have the internet for a snake.
It'd be weird if you did.
You don't have to. I'm thinking of Neopets.
I was gonna say the internet.
You don't have to have the internet for a Tamagotchi.
Just like batteries.
Yeah.
Although I think it comes with a battery, so you don't even need that.
Yeah.
You just need to buy the Tamagotchi. But it does require a lot of care, and it'll beep at you.
I want a Tamagotchi.
We actually just ordered Tamagotchis.
Did you really?
Yes. They're annoying as shit.
Do you have them right now?
They're upstairs in a drawer. We already killed them. We killed them immediately. I didn't know if I wanted to say it. That night, overnight, they died the first night.
It's been...
They're little angels. They're like chirping.
I
think you can reset it, right?
Yeah.
Because it kept wanting us to play with them, but then whenever we tried to play the game, I don't know how you play the game. I don't remember. And then they were just like beeping like crazy. And then we woke up in the morning and they were dead.
And you have a dog.
Yeah, I keep her alive. She's alive.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I'd rather have a pet that's in my face because I will care for it, but not too in my face that I'm going to put you in a drawer,
I guess don't be drawer size if you're Grace's pet.
Yeah, I will put you in one.
Yeah.
If it fits, it ships. That's what I say about pets. All right.
Okay. I got one more debate.
Okay.
One more debate.
Hey,
one
quick.
more. Are plants pets?
No.
I also say no, but because I treat my plants like my children, so that's why.
So they're children.
So they're children.
So that's beyond pets.
Yes.
I'm saying no, they're nothing. They're plants.
No, they're my babies.
My babies. So what happens every time you kill one? You've killed a lot of
I've killed
plants.
a lot. I've cried a lot.
You've like massacred plants.
It was not a massacre. First of all, New Jesus is thriving. She's got so many new leaves.
Oh, I like it.
I guess if I want to be serious, no, plants aren't pets, but they're plants. They're different, and they still require a lot of care depending on the plant. We kind of covered this in the bonsai episode.
Plantpisode.
The plantpisode. We should have another plantpisode because we didn't really talk about houseplants. We just talked about bonsais. But I think plants, depending on the plant, if you're an ADHDer, you should get an EDZ plant first. Dip your toe in that plant water first before you piggy dip it.
Piggy dip
before you go and buy a bunch of plants. Yeah, piggy dip before you piggy dive into the plant world because it can get expensive and you're going to end up killing a lot of plants. I think if you want to group pets and plants into beings you take care of that are not yourself and not human.
It's a really long title.
Yep. I would group plants into that category.
That very specific category.
But I would not say that they're specifically a pet, but they do require a lot of care.
All right, it's time for
Alternative Segment.
Alternatives.
Pew, 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 pew. Wow.
Alternative
Segment. This week's alternative segment, it's, I guess we just have to get into it. It's called Squirrel Trauma. Let's get into it.
Yep.
Yeah, I named this segment because I've had a lot of trauma with squirrels.
So we're using squirrel trauma as just kind of like a name to represent all trauma that we've collected over the years from just various animals imposing trauma upon us, I suppose it is.
Yeah.
Squirrel trauma.
Squirrel trauma.
Any kind of animal trauma, but we're calling it squirrel trauma because that's a fun name.
I've had a lot of trauma with squirrels. I don't really like squirrels.
All right. This week's squirrel trauma.
Yeah.
Kristin, tell us your squirrel trauma.
I have many stories, but I'll just share one.
All right.
Because we'll be here all day.
Yep.
For squirrel trauma, many, many different weird instances with squirrels dying in front of me. But one time, I was waiting for Grace and a couple other kids because we would walk to school together. This takes place back when I was in what we're going to call a time trunchbull phase of mine, where I was so anal about time because I have no concept of time. It all makes sense now, but back up until I would say maybe up until grad school or something, I was just like so hyper-focused about time and if we're going to be late and who's on time and what the time is. Anyway, time.
Oh, so annoying.
It was the worst.
We were not a good combo to walk to school together.
Now I'm just late.
Yeah, and so am I, and it all works out.
Now it's better.
We're both on time.
So I get to we had like a little meeting spot so we could all walk to school together. I get there first per usual because I was always super, super early. Waiting for them. It's cold. I'm waiting. It's early. I'm waiting. And then all of a sudden I just hear this like smack. And it's a squirrel that fell from this huge 50-foot oak tree. And it just, I don't know if it fell off or it missed a step, but it just fell right like maybe 5 feet in front of me, just onto the pavement, and just splat. And I was just like, and then it like got it like kind of survived, and then I just watched it like crawl its way in front of my feet and just die in a couple of bushes, all before school. And then after that, you guys show up, and I couldn't even like explain to you what I saw. I was just like,
squirrel trauma.
Oh man, that still haunts me that sound of like, bam.
It's like, Kristin, help me!
As I die in the bushes.
Tell my story on a podcast.
Laugh at my pain.
Use this for content.
You'll have dreams about this later. Squirrel trauma.
Trauma.
I also have fish trauma. Fish trauma. I had a fish. It ate all my other fish. I was very mad about it. It was a cannibal fish. No one told me it was a cannibalistic fish, so I brought it back to the pet store, to Petco. I'm calling you out, Petco. And I go to the pet. Have you ever seen the fish guy people at Petco or any fish? They're always weird.
Fish people.
The people in charge of the fish. They like scoop the fish
people
out.
Who are fish?
No.
I've never seen fish people.
No. You're thinking too much.
Where are these fish people?
In charge of the fish section at the pet store.
Fish people. Yeah, I've seen those people.
They're odd.
Yep.
Okay.
They're fish people.
Yeah. So I bring it back to him, and I'm probably 13 at this time, and my dad's there, and he's just like, get in, get out. Bring the fish back, and we're going home. And I'm like, okay. And I bring the fish back, and I go, listen, I want to return this fish. It ate all my other fish. I'm not satisfied with this fish. It ate my fish, and you didn't tell me this was a cannibalistic fish. I feel like there should be a warning. And the guy's like, sometimes the fish do that. And I'm like, you know what would have been nice if all my other fish didn't die a traumatic death of slowly being eaten alive from this dumb fish.
It's horrifying.
And he's like, yeah, I watched them all die, and I cried about it for a while. And he was like, oh, I'll take it back. And then puts it in with all the other fish. And I'm like, what the heck are you doing, buddy? I was like, that's a cannibal fish. You can't just put it in with a bunch of fish. It's going to eat all your fish. You're going to lose your fish. And he's like, well, too late. And I'm like, too late? I was like, I just returned this. I told you it was a murder fish. And I remember my dad dragging me out of Petco because I was yelling so much. I was like, you can't just put in that cannibal fish with the rest of the fish. That's not how that works.
I feel like that's the beginning of a really boring horror movie where it's like
cannibal fish.
You don't know what you're doing. He's gonna unleash hell. Cannibal fish.
And my dad's just like, this is not worth it. Please, like, stop. Why are you like this? You're embarrassing the family. Again, we can't go back to this Petco anymore.
You were having a strong reaction to injustice.
I was so mad at that fish.
You should have stomped him.
I should have just stomped him to death. That's what my brother
do you
said.
Kill a killer? Here's a moral question. Do you kill a cannibal fish to stop him from cannibalizing other fish?
Ooh, I think we should take a poll.
Yeah.
Would you have killed my cannibal fish? Don't say flush him because that's mean.
Yeah, I'm talking about a quick bash.
A quick kill.
Like, what if that guy at the pet store was just like, oh, sorry about that, and just like dumped him on the floor and just like mashed him with his foot? I'll take care of that.
I think I would have felt better, but I feel bad saying that. Like, I don't think the fish deserved to die. I think he needed therapy.
Well,
he needed isolation. He needed his own tank, is what he needed.
Is that any life for a fish?
Being alone? Yeah. If you're a cannibal and you eat other fish, you should be alone and you should be in self-isolation.
But then we get into the whole thing about solitary confinement, you know.
Yes, but if you are a vicious cannibal, they're not going to freely put you in a prison where you have free access to other inmates, because that's cruel to the other inmates, right?
Yeah, but then it's also possibly cruel to do solitary confinement. So I think the only answer is to bash them in the parking lot. Bash them up.
All right, we're taking a poll. Everybody listen up. We're going to take a poll about, check out our Instagram. We're going to have a poll on, would you kill my cannibal fish?
To save the lives of countless other innocent fish.
I guess so.
They might not be innocent, though. Who knows what former crimes those other fish have committed.
Yeah, but they don't deserve to be slowly eaten alive, fin by fin.
What if they pushed a grandma down the stairs?
Would they do that?
Maybe.
They don't have thumbs.
Do you need thumbs to push a grandma down the stairs? All right, we're taking a poll. Do you need thumbs to push your grandmother down the stairs? Not yours specifically, any grandmother.
It's just any grandma. Does it have to be? I guess you could shove her with your...
that's what I'm picturing. A little fin slap.
Your little... Yeah, you could shove her.
Yeah.
You could tail whip her.
That's what I'm saying. There's lots of options for getting a grandma down the stairs.
All right, check our polls out. This is crucial information.
All right, I'm the one who keeps wanting to make sure this episode is short, and now I'm talking about a fish.
Yeah, this is keep it long. This is important stuff.
I have to edit it, and you don't.
I know.
Once we have a sound editor, we can talk. I'll let us talk for 4 hours,
and the sound editor is going to hate us.
And they can just deal with it. But
if you're
now
a sound editor and like to be poor, call us.
If you would like to sound edit our podcast for free, please reach out to us.
Yep.
We'll talk about you a bunch on the podcast. Yep. You get free publicity to our listeners.
Yep.
I'll
give you a plant.
Ooh.
And a kazoo.
And we'll bash your fish in the parking lot for you if you want us
to. Grace will do that. She'll be in charge of all fish bashing.
I'll be the enforcer. Fish bashing enforcer.
You have like the Punisher logo, except it's a fish. Trauma, but do we need to go on? Squirrel trauma. Okay, Grace, what's your squirrel trauma?
All right, I don't think I have any actual specific squirrel. Oh, actually, I came upon a squirrel that had gotten fried by the telephone.
I saw
the wires.
Squirrel.
What are those called? Are they telephone wires? Do we still say that? Or is that like a 90s thing? They're not telephone wires. No, people don't have telephones.
Electric wires?
Just like, the
power cables.
Power lines. Power lines.
Yes.
PowerPoint. Squirrel had gotten somehow stuck up in the power lines and fried, and then his like carcass was just like electrocuted and stuck up in the wires for probably about like 3 months. And then Gracie was keeping an eye on it, our friend Gracie. It finally fell out and like slopped on the ground in a slippery, gross mess.
Weren't you after those bones?
Yeah, I was trying to get those bones.
But those weren't bones worth keeping?
Those were not keepable bones.
Keepable bones.
Yes. But my other squirrel trauma is not so much squirrel trauma, but Kristin reminded me of this one. When I was in college, one of my friends, Allie, got a hamster we named him Fez, but then I think her like roommate immediately told on her for having a hamster in the dorms, and so we had to take him and like hide him from the RAs.
As one does.
Yes, his name was Fez. He lived and died on the microwave. It was
not in the microwave. His cage was on top of the microwave,
which is almost as bad as living in the microwave.
You didn't microwave him though.
He lived fast and he lived hard. He did die very quickly, so I do think he was being affected by the microwave.
Like slowly.
I think it was just getting nuked. I think it was just being nuked on top of the like we would use it.
It's also a hamster. They don't live very long anyway, though.
Yeah. So Fez the hamster, he died a pretty quick death. So we gave him a Viking funeral in the Orono River. We made a little raft for him, and we put him on the raft, and we set it ablaze, and we pushed him out into the river.
As one does.
Yeah.
And then the cops came.
Did they?
Yes. This is what you told me, is the second you set it on fire, you heard sirens and you all had to run. You couldn't even like appreciate the funeral.
I don't know if that was for us. I feel like there were other bad things going on in Orono. And
yeah, probably.
A hamster Viking funeral is the least of their worries. But yeah, that was one of them.
Put an end to these Viking funerals.
They're rampant. It's a pandemic.
Top Orono police. What's it? Topics. Police topics.
Police topics.
They have like a schedule. Priority. Top Orono police priority.
Police topics. What's our crime topic for the month? Yep, I already talked about my sea monkeys and dying.
You did.
One time Lucy dragged me across the lawn on my rollerblades. That's another one.
I always want to go rollerblading like with a dog.
You don't, trust me.
But then I realized I'm not that strong of a rollerblader to begin with. The last thing I need is a dog dragging me onto pavement.
Luckily, I was on the lawn, I thought I could handle it. I was like, yeah, no problem. I can, I don't know why. I can't even brake on rollerblades. I don't know how you're supposed to brake. I don't know, lean back and use a little rubber stopper. It doesn't work very well. Mm-hmm. So Lucy saw a couple dogs that she really likes to play with. They were out in the yard. She fucking took off with me on rollerblades. And I thought when we hit the lawn that I would like kind of stop rolling for some reason. But obviously she was still pulling me. So I hit the lawn and I just dumped it. And then she's like dragging me across the lawn by her leash on my rollerblades.
Did anyone see it?
Yeah, there were a bunch of people around. There was like a moving van of these 3 guys that were like moving furniture for my neighbor. It was so embarrassing.
Oh my God.
It didn't even hurt that bad. It was just embarrassing.
Squirrel trauma.
Squirrel trauma.
If you've got squirrel trauma, and it's not exclusively squirrels, it could be any sort of animal-based trauma.
Yes, but we're not talking about you inflicting trauma on an animal.
Right,
we're talking about an animal inflicting trauma on you.
Yes, that's what I want to hear about. How have animals emotionally harmed you?
Yes. Although I guess Fez living and dying on the microwave, that's partially me. But
yeah, but it was emotional. It was a sad funeral.
And I didn't buy him. He wasn't my choice. I was just like, I took him in his time of need.
You did the best you could, Grace. It's okay.
I was literally the best I was capable of.
You did your best.
Thank you. I did my best.
Should we get into our next and last segment?
Yes, please. Yes.
Here we go. I'm excited.
Let's do it.
Pizza secrets. Tell me your secrets. Pizza secrets.
Yeah. Do you want to start? You want me to start? You want to start? You want me to start? What do you want to do? You want me to start?
I will start.
Okay.
I will go. So for my pizza secret this week, I think I'm just going to do a series of mini little bagel bites of different little rover.com horror stories, because for a few years, Ian and I did rover.com. It's like a dog or animal sitting app where
you sat on the animals?
Yeah, we were sitting on the animals.
Excellent.
So this was like both before and after we got Lucy. We would just dog sit when we were in Virginia, and when we were out in Oregon, we were always doing rover. Our first one, we were hired to dog sit for this dog, Ali'i, for like 2 weeks. It was down in Virginia Beach, so everyone's in the military. This guy who had this dog, he was militant about this dog's training. Like, the people left us this 3-page front and back list of different things we had to do for this dog. The page on how to feed him, literally just like how to feed him, not what to feed him, the process of how to feed him. You would think like put the food in the dish and then maybe you say like, all right, take it. Nope. It was a full page of instructions on how to feed this dog. You're supposed to like add 3/4 a cup of water, microwave it for 45 seconds, have him go in his kennel, make him do this command. Then you put the food in there and then he eats. Then you wipe his mouth with a paper towel when he comes out of his kennel. It was like this whole process was insane. It was just like, he's a dog. He just like ate like a dog. I mean, they would give him like, it would be like wet food because you put the water on it and then it's warm, but not too hot. So it was like, this is so unnecessary. Like, what is the purpose of getting a dog if you're going to have to do more stuff than if you just had a baby? Like, oh God, can you imagine if they had a baby?
Oh God, no.
It would be a nightmare. So of course, Ian and I were like, fuck that. We're not doing any of that. So we literally just like didn't do that. We just fed him like the way you feed a dog. Probably undid a lot of this dog's very strict training, but he loved us. We took him camping. We like brought him to our apartment.
You let a dog be a dog.
Exactly. I felt bad for him. He was like the sweetest dog. He was obviously very well trained, but like
probably because of his owner doing all that training.
Yeah, probably. To train your dog is one thing, but to be like, literally you're not allowed to have any joy or fun in your life or like even lick your own food off of your mouth after you eat, that's crazy. So because we didn't believe in it, we're like, we're not going to do that. So we just didn't. And I'm pretty sure they gave us 0 stars.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Another time we dog sat for this dog out in Oregon on Christmas Eve, because we were like, we're staying in Oregon for the year for that Christmas. This dog, Christmas Eve, peed in our bed and pooped on the carpet.
No.
I laid down in it on the bed, not realizing he had peed in my spot on the bed. And so we told the people, and we're like, you need to, and the next day was Christmas. So we're like, what the fuck? Like, it felt like they had lied to us about this dog. And we're like, you need to come pick your dog up. Like, this dog is a monster.
Right.
That you did not say any of this stuff, that this dog like pees and poops in the house. And they were like, oh, well, we wanted you to leave him outside.
No.
And it was middle of December in Oregon, so it was like rainy and cold. I think we had gone to Abby and Zach's house that like the night before, and we got home at like 11 p.m. and this dog had pooped on the carpet. But they were like, "Oh, you should have just left him outside." No. So they wanted us to leave their dog out in our yard in the dark rain by itself alone in the cold for like hours and hours and hours. And they're like, "Well, it's your fault." So, like, my two choices are shit on the carpet or animal abuse. Like, no, come get your fucking dog. So, yeah, we made them pick up the dog. So, like, we're not doing that.
Oh, my God.
Another one who was a German short-haired pointer, Jack, he was, like, a year-old puppy. He would get up on the kitchen counters and, like, stand on the counters. I don't know how he even got up there.
Christ.
And he would take socks and swallow them whole.
Oh, what?
And it was like...
Did they at least tell you about that?
Yes, they did warn us about the sock thing. They're like...
So Jack's got a bit of an issue.
They're
How
like,
do you even approach
they're
that?
like, when we say he swallows socks whole and you have to watch out for him, we mean within a second. He will take a sock before you can even blink. He will swallow it.
He's just like, oh, is that a sock?
Yeah, he just grabs
a sock.
Gulp. Yeah. Yes, literally, that's what he did. Ian had to pull a sock out of his throat because he swallowed it. He doesn't chew on him. He literally like sucks it down.
So you're really not getting into Rover anytime soon.
I don't know. It was like decent money. Some of the dogs were good, but some of them would swallow your socks. So I don't know. Pros and cons.
Nice.
Pizza secrets.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. What's your pizza secret?
I got to tell a story about Snickers, obviously. It involves Snickers and it involves Tinder. Sninder. Back in the day, I used to be single. I think I spent most of my life single. Anyway, and so you peruse the apps as one does at our age when we're single. And I had it wasn't a Tinder date. I think it was a Hinge date. But anyway.
You lied to me.
You've
lied to our audience. You've lied to me.
It was not Tinder, but it was a Tinder-like app.
Okay.
And I went on a couple dates with this guy. Finally came over to my apartment. First time he comes over to my apartment. And I was like, oh, yeah, I have a cat, but you'll probably never see her. And lo and behold, Snickers decides to show herself. And he's like, oh, I love cats. And I was like, okay, well, she's like really shy. So like, you know, be gentle. And I'm just like, I think I was like cooking dinner or something. And he like makes the decision. This is all him. Makes the decision to pick my very anxious cat up and put her on his lap. And he's just like petting and petting and petting.
Mistake.
And he's like, what a good kitty this is. And I like look over and I'm like, oh God, this is so strange. She would never let a stranger do this to her. Like usually it takes days for her to warm up to someone. And I thought like it was like a good sign. It wasn't. I was like, wow, she like never really does that. She's like usually a really nervous cat. She vomits on like usually she does like, you know, the cat vomit where it's like takes a couple tries to get it out. It was like this just sudden like almost all whole cat food just like came up and it was all over his pants and he was just like, oh, and then like Cat's like, you know, clearly traumatized. So she runs, she's under the bed. We never see her again. No, she comes back like 3 days later, but he's just like, your cat just vomited on me. I was like, yeah, she's like a nervous vomiter. I'm really sorry. I offered to like clean his pants. I offered to like do his dry cleaning.
You're like, let me get you out of those wet pants.
Yeah, no,
this is a ploy.
So turned off by he left. He was just like, I can't believe your cat would just do that. And I was like, well, he
violated her bodily autonomy.
I was just like, she's a nervous cat. Like I didn't even know how to explain to him like you shouldn't have picked her up. And
should like, just shouldn't have picked her up.
Shouldn't have picked her up and plopped her on your little torso and petted her aggressively as you did. And I'm not going to say it's his fault because it's his fault. You know,
it's his fault.
Clearly, you can see this cat is so nervous from a mile away. You don't just like go scoop her up and just say, oh, what a good kitty. I would never scoop up someone's cat I just never met before.
No, it seems so violating. No. You have to pay attention to an animal's like mood and those body signals they're giving you.
Snickers oozes anxiety. And that is just not a cat you just go up to. You let Snickers come to you. And I thought it was going well, but obviously it didn't. And you know what? It worked out for the best. I never talked to him again.
Yeah.
Problem solved. Thanks, Snicks.
Thanks, Snickers.
Pizza secret.
That's a good one.
That's it.
Pizza secret.
He was so mad.
Whatever. It's his fault.
And like, you know when someone's really mad and you try not to laugh at them because you know it's only going to make them madder?
Yes, but it's so hard not to.
It's so hard not to. That was the situation. I think I let out a little giggle, and I think he was just like, I'm done. Or he didn't say that. He was just like, I got to go home. And he just left.
Well, that's not a man you want around anyways.
No, it wasn't.
You want a man where your cat can shit on him in the bed and he will still love you.
That's what
Which
I got
you
now.
have found.
I've found it. It's true love.
Christopher, you're a dreamboat.
That was the test, Christopher. It was,
You passed.
I test us with all of my prospects. Can my cat shit on you?
And you'll still stay around?
What you didn't know is this was planned the whole time.
We've been training for months.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're somehow at 2 fucking hours.
Oh.
So let's wrap this up real quick. And we don't need to talk about we'll save that for next time.
Okay.
We don't need to talk about social media and where to find us. We talk about that all the time.
Okay.
You know
Find
where
us
to
on
find us.
email.
weirdsofafeather@gmail.com. Email us.
Email about what we were going to email about your squirrel trauma. Email about
I don't know. Re-listen to the episode. We don't have time for this.
Look for the polls on Instagram.
We don't have time.
Look for our TikToks. We haven't posted in a while because TikTok's hard. We'll get there.
Yeah, if there's any, especially Gen Zers that want to help us out with TikTok.
Yeah. Do you want a body double dare? Let us know.
Please help us.
Help me. And Grace.
Yep. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean.
And wherever else you get your podcasts.
Yep.
Follow us
Rate,
there.
review, and subscribe.
We appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to our Petpisode.
Petisode.
Petisode.
It's petisode. It sounds way better. Yours is it's cacophonous.
All right, here's another poll. Do you think it's cacophonous to say Petpisode?
Cacophonous?
Yeah.
That's not how you say that. Cacophonous.
Yeah, cacophonous.
No.
We're saying it the same. We're saying the same word. Yeah, ready? Say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Cacophonous. That's the same word. We're saying the same thing.
That's not the same word.
It's the same thing.
No, yours is worse, but it makes more sense because yours is more cacophonous.
It's more cacophonous.
It's more cacophonous.
More cacophonous.
You know what? This is the one time I'll agree with you. Your way is the better way because
yes,
it is more cacophonous.
Hear that, guys?
But I'm still going to say cacophonous. Cacophony.
Cacophonous.
No.
All right, we will talk to you guys next week. Remember what bird we're supposed to do on the way out?
Bark, bark.
Yeah, you got it. What animal is that?
It's a chicken. Ah, caca. That one's an angry chicken.
That was loud.
That was loud. It's a confused chicken.
I don't know if you're trying to make it into a song.
No, I thought about it, but I couldn't figure out what song I wanted to do.